Welcome everybody to the Room250 Podcast.
One tiny pixel at a time.
We all have a room 250. It's that room where creativity happens.
I mean, if you mess up, you mess up.
Yeah. So, welcome back to the Room250 Podcast, where creatives have a conversation and hopefully inspire current and future designers to crush their creative goals, one tiny little pixel at a time. This is season 2, so we're back and ready. Woo! I am one of 3 hosts. I'm joined by Pete Peralta, Eurosoy. No, not Eurosoy. Erosoy. I always mess it up. I'm always like, oh, it's Eurosoy. Erosoy and myself, Sly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the episodes in the coming season. And let's get into it, boys. What are you guys drinking?
Yo.
What's up? Welcome. Launch of season 2. All right. It was a nice little vacation for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what am I drinking? So I'm actually doing a 30-day cleanse, and I have a bet with my wife that I couldn't not have a beer or alcohol for a month, and I'm like, easy. So I am drinking a mini Fanta. I would have
a switch out. It's a switch out. There's alcohol right there.
Nah.
So yeah, drinking that. I don't have any carbonated water.
I bought this new, I don't know how new it is, but Jose Cuervo, The Devil's Preserve. Feels appropriate.
Feels
I bought
appropriate
it during
why?
Halloween.
Why does
Well, we're about to dance. We're about to dance with the devil for the next years, and let's have fun. If you can't join them, if you can't beat them, join them. Ooh, and it's red.
For those who don't know, we're shooting the day of the election. So Donald Trump just got appointed president. Not appointed.
Yeah.
He just won the vote, right? That's how you would say it. So he won. Yeah. He won the presidency for presidency.
But
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But we are true Americans, and we, all of us have different views here. We're not all the same. Some of us are pro-Trump. Some of us don't like him very much, and that's okay. That's what really America is about, is hanging out with people that have different views and still being able to be best friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about
Martin
my team.
chugs the bottle right now.
well, for everybody else.
Wait, let me shug it down and throw a match in there.
I am going to be drinking this bourbon barrel aged imperial stout from Costco, Kirkland brand. So
nice.
I bought it special for this season 2 opening. So I figured I'd share it with my best friends, even though we're not in the same room, and with all of our followers. Cheers.
Wow.
Oh shit, that's thick. That's a thick pour.
That's what she said.
You like it thick, Sly? I used to give it to him nice and thick back in the day before he got married.
That's almost like a Guinness kind of style thick.
Bro. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. They're just too filling for me.
Is it chocolate or is it coffee or flavored?
No, it's just bourbon barrel aged. That's all it says.
But what does it taste like?
And in case you guys can hear, I do have babies. They might be crying in the background. It is close to their bedtime.
I just heard mine screaming. It's bedtime right now. So
aged for 9 months in bourbon barrels, this robust imperial stout was meticulously crafted by Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon, with notes of dark chocolate and roasted coffee.
Nice.
I taste the dark chocolate for sure.
Although I not having a beverage, I did have an edible, so we're good.
There you go. It's not in the rules, Angela.
Exactly.
Nah.
All right, let's jump right into it. Today's topic.
So today's
Mr.
topic.
Davis Live.
I wanted to talk about what just happened. Adobe MAX. It just happened. I don't want to say last week, but it did happen recently. I would say like a month or 2 ago. So I wanted to talk about all the new things that they premiered, if we're going to be using it, some of the stuff that they were talking about, with their Adobe Firefly, what's happening in Photoshop, the new things that they're doing in Illustrator, which I think are really cool.
Yeah, some of them are pretty dope.
Some of the Premiere Pro things are pretty cool.
Amazing.
Some of the stuff in Lightroom, not only for the computer, but what you have on the phone too. Like that's really cool. Project Neo, and then Adobe Express. I know me and you were talking a little bit about this, Pete, that it's a little older, but for me, it looks a lot newer. I never really used it, and I had some questions about it. So, one of the first things that I want to ask you guys, do you guys always update when the updates come out?
I hear you. I have to step aside for about 30 seconds, but I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Martin, do you update?
I don't, because I'm always like working and I don't prioritize my updates. And also I'm scared of updating sometimes because the, Mac has to follow the update. There might be restrictions, and it just becomes sometimes annoying, and it becomes more of a problem. Mm-hmm. So I usually wait. I'll wait like a week or two, maybe 3, or sometimes I'll just randomly update when I have to. When my Photoshop starts acting up. Yeah.
To clarify, we're talking about updating Adobe. That was my question. If we're updating Adobe, not our computers, but for me, I mean, I have restrictions on the programs that I can use because we work with a newspaper, and there's a lot of other programs that go into it. So those programs have to be updated at the same time as when the Adobe programs are updated, but that's not always the case. Wow. So we have some programs that are specifically built for like Adobe 2021, Adobe 2023. Like we can use that for like some of our ad building, and then for our like newspaper stuff, we have a program that is running Adobe 2021 InDesign. So we have to use that to run all of those different plugins. So I wish we could update all the time. And it used to be that you could update, and if you didn't like it, you could go back to older versions.
Downgrade.
But I don't think that's the case anymore, because when I was talking with my IT department, they were telling me that if we update past 2023, there's no way for us to go back down to like 2022, or if we get 2024, we can't go back to 2023. I'm not sure if that's the case. Maybe they're just trying to scare us so we don't update, but that was one of the things that my IT department told me. What about you, Pete? Are you get it right when it's brand new, or are you waiting?
Well, honestly, like working with Adobe for, I don't know, 14 plus years, I think that we've learned to wait a week before we, update, because there's always glitches or bugs or something doesn't run as smooth. I mean, kind of like take the same method with like buying a new car. Whenever a new manufacturer car comes out with a new year, new remodel, that always has like problems with it. Jeep, Ford, anyone else. So why wouldn't it also translate to software? But to go back real quick, since we're talking about Adobe Max, I know, Martin, you've been there. Sly, have you ever gone?
No, I haven't. And I wanted to try and talk to my my company about sponsoring me to go. So maybe I could like work it into the budget next year. But it was not it wasn't in this year's budget.
Martin,
there wasn't a way I could work it in.
What do you remember how much the amount was? Like for the tickets? Because you went all 3 days for the year that you went?
Yeah, I went every day. I don't remember the price. It was over $1,000. I want to say it was like 1,500, maybe. And then on top of that, like you have to get the hotel that's right there. Like, I mean, you don't have to, but it just makes it more convenient for your employee to be in the same hotel. You just get up in the morning and go, because it's literally like work. So it's not like you're getting a vacation or anything like that. No, you get your ass up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, take a shower, get ready, go grab breakfast. The good thing about the thing I have to say about the Adobe Max is like they hook it up, dude. Like you get up in the morning.
The experience of going there is So you're provided meals.
Yeah, you get up in the morning. They have a area for breakfast, and they're pre-packed. Like they're all pre-packed. You just go up there, grab it, sit down, eat, and sit at your table and then go. It's all paid for, everything. When you check in, they give you a welcome packet that has like a bunch of free stuff. We had a like a little hydro, what wasn't a hydro flask, but it was like a flask. And sorry, my wife just texted me that my dog is killing her with her stinky farts. I don't know what he ate today. He's stinky as fuck, man. Anyways, so yeah, they give you a bottle and a bunch of swag, and then a sweater. I missed out on the sweater. I ended up getting late, and I ended up getting a large, and I think I gave it to you, Pete or Sly. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I got it. My gym sweater.
Yeah, okay.
I have a shirt you gave me.
Yeah, I gave you guys a shirt too, and then so breakfast, lunch, and dinner they set up. At the end of the day, they bring out on the main area where all the stuff is, the swag. They bring out a bunch of food, and the food is pretty good. And then at the very, very end, the last day, they throw this really big party. They have food trucks. It was an awesome experience, and I would definitely recommend people to go. And then just going to like the event where they show all the future stuff, then they wow you. That's pretty awesome. And then the speakers are awesome, very motivating. Yeah.
Okay, so did your company pay for lodging too and travel, or just for the? So you're a company hooked it.
Where did you go?
Again, all expenses paid.
California. Yeah, California. Yeah, it was. When Quillen sends us out to a convention, they cover everything. The flight, the gas, the mileage, anything, any expenses you have, the food.
So roughly, we'll say that was a budget of, I don't know,
$3,000. Yeah,
at least,
something like that.
At least $3,000. So you flew or you drove out there?
No, I flew out there. It was kind of a bummer. I went solo and I went alone. And there was nobody else in my department.
Okay, so we'll say roughly no less than $3,000 right now. We'll play with that number.
Yeah.
For just you alone, and granted, not many companies will pay for travel and lodge on that. They'll pay for the experience. So out of the $3,000 that was spent on you for you to experience this, do you feel like it made you a better designer to be there, or it was just more of hey, this is a great convention that motivates you and lights that inner fire for you to design? Like, what was as an employer, what would be the reasoning for me to send you there? You know, for people that are listening, like, hey, I want this to, yes, every designer should be able to go to this thing. Like that's, they whether it's to learn something, because there is a bunch of cool new shit that gets shown. And it lights that fire and that curiosity that we have. But, you know, it's also, can the employer pay for it? How much is the employer looking to shell out? Because if a junior or senior gets to go and it's, hey, flight, dinner's covered, fucking the travel's covered, I get to go learn all this shit for $3,000. Like that should definitely be worked in a budget for sure.
Yeah. So if there's employers out there listening, like I said, this is not a vacation. This is work. This is going to another state, waking up. You literally wake up at 6 a.m. and you're done by like 7. So you're actually working more. It's fun. It's awesome. It's training. You will do a lot of walking. Exactly what Pete said. It motivates you. When you come back, you're fired up, you're motivated, and you learn some new techniques. I feel like I'm a seasoned designer. A lot of the classes I took, I kind of already knew, but it was kind of a refresher. I did take a video class, and it like really opened my eyes to it, but I don't really do that at work. So I just want to lost knowledge.
So there's classes that you can take as well, like to learn some of the things that they're pushing out. Okay.
Yeah, like that's
a benefit for an employer for sure. Like if that's
definitely.
If that's your a young designer like that, and you want them to grow and be able to use some of the new programs that might be beneficial for your company, you send them to Adobe MAX and they learn these programs, and then they bring it back and teach, or vice versa. You send your creative director there, they learn what they can, they bring it back, and then they teach their team.
I think the perfect combo would be to send your senior or creative director with somebody who's green. Because if both of them go to the classes, like I took one of the video classes for their programs, and even though I don't use it, it taught me like all the possibilities within it. And I know if I mess around with it for like a day or two, I'll probably pick up on it, and the knowledge that I got from there, I could figure out on my own. Like there's super fast editing for the text when you're editing videos, and like that's what they were showing. Like it like populates all the text and you just go through it, and then there's certain ways you could just delete all the ums and all the awkward stuff, and that to me was like, holy shit, that's pretty fucking
cool. Yeah, I remember that,
right?
that video. Yeah, so yeah. Martin went I think 2 years ago, right? That's when
2 years ago. Yeah, it was in LA. And funny thing, dude, I was walking. Nah, I ain't gonna talk shit about that.
So it is beneficial for an employer to try to work this into their budget for their seasonal designer to go there and learn everything new that could potentially benefit the company.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then
I would say so.
So and then would you say like someone more of a junior for sure, but like junior into senior designer, or even a senior designer, I think would definitely have that spark built into them. You said seasoned, you're 13 plus years.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I remember this shit. I know how to do this. But did you completely forget what they had shown you, or it was just nice to like remember all that stuff? Like, oh, it's all coming. Like riding a bike. You didn't forget it. You just don't do it that often.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't forget it. I just don't do it that often. The video stuff for sure I forgot because I don't do video at all.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that like a lot of it was generative fill, and like I had already messed with it, but it came out. So it was nice to see the professionals that use this every day, and they showed us how they were using it. And that's when I met Shark Pixel. If you ever have a minute, check them out. They have really cool tutorials, and they have like really cool like assets that they sell and presets.
Shark Pixel?
Shark Pixel, yeah.
For
the owner was there
and everything for like all the different programs.
We'll add that we'll add that in the description for all you listening here on YouTube. If you're on Spotify,
I know.
Description down below.
Yeah, let me show you their website real quick so you guys can see it.
In no way are we sponsored by Shark Pixel.
No, we're not. No, we're not at all.
We just happen to like their stuff.
So yeah, this is the stuff that they have. She's a photographer. She does really cool stuff, dude. Her stuff's like, this is the shit that like I really love. Like I need to start doing.
There was a preset of hers that
That's
I meant
her.
to buy.
This is
it was
her,
like $1. I meant to buy that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, and she was doing her class and how she did her work, and at the end of the class she was like, well, if you guys have any suggestions, like, let me know. And I went up there and I told her, like, that's really annoying about generative fill, and I don't think they fixed this, but I told her, like, when you generate something, let's say you just want to generate a bunch of fish, right? And then the generative fill gives you like 3 options. You can only pick one option. You can't grab the other option and drag it. Like if you generate 3 fishes that you like, you're like, oh shit, I like those 3 fishes. I want all 3 of them. It only lets you select one. So my suggestion was like, can you guys make it where like it generates 3 different ones, and I want those 3 different ones for me to be able to just grab it and drop it, so I don't have to keep regenerating random fishes. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and she took it, but I don't know, they never did with any, if they did anything with that or not. But
that generative fill already gives you 3 options.
No, he's saying is it gives you 3 options, but what you can do, you can only choose one. So you choose one, and then it puts it on the artboard, and then you can't choose another one, or else it overwrites.
Yeah,
right. That's what you're saying, Martin.
So imagine, Pete, you're creating an ocean, and you're generating different random fishes. You have to prompt it every time.
So just think about it.
Yeah, so it might have changed now.
Okay. So he's saying 2 years ago, when they first released this generative fill stuff, when you would generate,
I guess I'm just trying to think of like, right? No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, well, then I would just flatten that layer, mask it out, and then pick the other one, mask it out, and then boom, I got all 3.
No, you couldn't do that. You would have to. If I generated a fish, it would generate the 1 fish and then give me 3 options. So let's say I was like, oh shit, I like these 3 fishes. I just want to grab them. It won't let you select the other ones and grab them. You have to. So when you select to regenerate.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I'm saying, like, if I was on one fish, I say on fish 1, I like fish 1, but I want to work with fish 2 and 3, I would just flatten that image and then pick option 2 and then flatten that image, and then pick option 3 and flatten that image, and then just.
Were you able to? I don't know if you could do that or not.
And then mask them out, and then boom, you're done. Or replicate. I mean, again, we're talking 2 years ago, so let's.
2 years ago, I don't know if it changed.
Come on, talking past.
Come on, man.
Like, say Back to the Future, all right?
So overall, we would say that an event like Adobe MAX, not so much about the celebrity side. I don't give two shits about that, but all this new information that's coming out for someone that's a junior or senior, it would be extremely beneficial for them. And if you're more of a seasoned designer, creative director, art director, it's fun and you'll learn things, but it's a lot of
it'll motivate you,
motivation and fundamentals kind of thing.
Yeah, but I also see it as like, what can we do with the products that we pay for? So like for us, we utilize Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, but we also do web-based stuff. We do we do video for our other departments. We do social media posts now because everybody has to have social stuff. And what is Adobe doing to help with those other aspects? So for us, it's like it might be just a refresher, but it's also like, oh, they have this new thing, Frame.io, which we don't use. Now we'll touch on this later. But maybe it might be beneficial for our team going forward if we're more collaborative, So it's definitely like seeing all the new products that you already pay for and what you can utilize, as well as like opening your mind to something different, like the Adobe Express,
let me touch on that one.
But for me, I'm seeing it for the first time because I don't really pay attention to all the things that they're updating all the time because I'm so busy with the family life and that sort of thing. So when I do catch it, I see it and I'm like, oh, well, this looks like a program that we're already using on something else. If we can get rid of that other program and utilize what we already have to fill that creative thing, then they'll save us money. It'll improve our workflow, that sort of thing. So I think that's also beneficial when going to those kind of conventions.
Well, for me, like they did a little session on Adobe Express, and they were just talking about like all the add-ons you could add on there, like what are they called, widgets, like plugins,
like add-ons.
There's like a bunch of plugins that are crazy, man. That just people like designers design. Like there was one that if you wanted to see how your post was gonna gonna be on Facebook for your social media, like you could run it through this plugin and it'll tell you straight up like, this is the main focus and this and that, and all cool, like all kinds of cool stuff. I don't use Adobe Express a lot, but it really opened my eyes. So it gives you a different perspective of how people in the industry are using the programs that we use. And it kind of like opens your eyes like, oh, I could use it that way. That's kind of cool. That's what I really liked about it.
I feel like it's more user friendly now. That's the biggest thing. Adobe Express is the friendly version for people to use it. I
haven't used it in a while, so I can't say.
From our conversation with Roberto, you can see even with this last Adobe MAX, they're really pushing it to where anybody can use it. Like their whole thing, Martin can attest to this. We were talking about this. Their whole thing is like generative fill, AI, everything. Like, how can we make this the easiest application?
That's what I wanted to ask
somebody
you.
Who doesn't use it. How can we make this so that they can be able to put something in words and get what they want out of it?
Yeah,
but it doesn't work that way.
But it doesn't work that way because you need to really flesh it out.
Not yet.
But they're trying, man. I mean,
from
what I saw, they were showing some stuff where it was like, I want this mountain with this road in this style, and they already had the two images, so. A person that's not a designer, they can go on Getty and find those two images and be like, okay, I want it in this style.
You need a Getty. Well, I guess that's what I'm thinking. Wise, so because you could just take a preview off of that, but
somebody could get their images from other places.
Yeah, very true. No, definitely.
And just combine it down, and then your AI art.
And then you change it enough where they can't sue you.
Mainly, like. I guess I'm just confident in my skill set because
I'm not saying that I'm not.
All the AI stuff starts to look the same. That's the biggest thing that I see.
Oh, for sure.
It looks the same, and everyone's using it. So the machine that's training itself is just training itself on one style. And then, but if you take that style, like someone like us here who are very seasoned, and we could, flare it in our own way, that's where our value comes into that. Kind of like pinstriping. I think about that with like car pinstripes. That style set is pretty much dying. There's not many pinstripe people out there. But
it's like a lot of
ones
those
that are out there are really expensive and extremely fucking talented. But yeah, to go back even further now, do I update immediately to go back to the very beginning? No, I don't. I shouldn't have. I did do that for this latest update, and InDesign has been extremely glitchy for me.
Like just crashing,
slowing down. It has not crashed, but it's glitchy. Like it's pretty much whenever I do stuff and I'm bouncing through my document, it almost feels like it's trying to do high quality view instead of low or minimal. So I'm not. It's not moving at my pace.
Gotcha.
So that part's really
that's the worst, dude. That's the fucking worst.
So for me, I think productivity has gone down like 25%, 35% because of how slow it is. That I'm just like, come on, keep up. So
Okay. So I want to jump into this AI Firefly because they were pushing that a lot at the very beginning of day one. One of the things that they talked about was that they're training it on licensed and public domain content, and only that. And you can tag your artwork to not be used to be, for not for their AI engine to be trained on it. Do you guys like that? Or what I thought was like, why isn't it the other way around? Why isn't it after I create my thing, can I tag it? You can use this. Why does it have to be? I have to opt out. Why isn't it opt in?
Because you know why? Because you know why, bro? Because they want to fucking use your shit and then be like, oh, well, you didn't say it that we couldn't use it. So it gives them all the permission to go in there and go like this, like, oh, this guy didn't say we couldn't use it, so we're taking it.
He didn't opt out,
Right. So what does that mean? If I opt out after the fact that you took my artwork, what are you going to do? Tell the computer to unlearn that shit? No. Yeah. They're going to take your shit. It should be the way you said it. It should be, I'm always opt out and I have to select to share it with you. That's it. Yeah, that's how it should be.
I ain't sharing shit.
Or make it really, really easy for me to just click don't share at the beginning that I'm working on this document. Like if I'm going to open up Photoshop and I'm going to create something, Command N, and then when it pops up right there, your sizes, click here to not share. Make it that easy. And then you're making me feel like, oh, okay, you're not trying to screw me over. You're making me feel that you're not being a greedy motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I got a flip side for that because they talked about that. And then on the other side, they said, you can also train the AI specific to your brand standards. So let's say you use this font with this color and this stuff. Like, you always have kind of like how we have this blue background. It's kind of like a neon kind of graffiti style. You can train your AI Firefly on your brand standard. Do you guys see that as beneficial?
That's fucking dope. Can you imagine in the future you're like...
So you're saying that's dope, but you're also saying I should be able to opt out. Like, I have to opt in. So there's like...
Well, you're talking about something different. You're talking about AI catered specifically to me. Catered specifically to my clients. Catered specifically to my brand guidelines. That's fucking dope. Now, if that AI is specifically catered to me and it's privatized to me only, that means that AI is not going to go to Pete and be like, hey, Pete, tickle my balls and I'll give you all Marta's secrets for his clients, then I'm gonna be like, that's fucking bullshit.
It's like I already got him.
I don't like that. And that's if Adobe's gonna give me AI that's gonna be confidential to me and to my clients, which that's the way it should be. Yeah, I'm up for that shit because I could see companies. Let's say we do the RJ and it's black, red, and white, and then you just tell your personal AI this is how all these ads need to be, and then you just boom, tell it to generate. That's fucking dope. That's awesome. But if it's AI catered to me and it's not going to spill my secrets.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that, Pete?
Could you expand on saying my secrets? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, I guess what he's saying is like his layouts and everything. You know, like a lot of people will rip off the same kind of layout and like change out their logo, change out their colors, but it's the exact same, you know, logo in the top left, body copy, bottom right is their call to action, and then button at the bottom. And that's their specific layout. And then they have, you know, maybe let's say a graphic in the top right. This is real basic shit, you know, but that's theirs, right? But then the AI is turning around and saying, Pete, hey, your brand, let's do the same thing, but just change it up in the colors. But you have the same layout.
Okay.
Let's say I work with a car dealership.
Hold on. Yeah. You had your turn. So, Martin, say you come up with this layout. Are all your layouts original? Like you didn't borrow from anyone else?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like the secrets that you're keeping. AI? Like here's my thing. Like I understand what we're talking about as artists, like protecting our shit, our craft, and you know. But this is the future too.
Lean in a little bit.
That's the future also of doing generative fill and being able to render things to either start an idea or evolve the idea, or even get you the asset that you want for whatever project that you're working on. But when you say, "Hey, I don't want it to copy my style," did you really truly come up with it 100% on your own, or were you inspired?
I'm not talking about that.
Layout? But I'm saying you're inspired by someone else's layout. So therefore, you're doing the beta version of AI and learning from this previous artist, right? And doing your design in your manner, just like that artist took it from some other artist who took it from another artist who way further.
Right. Back. I wasn't talking more like about the design part of it. I'm talking more like in depth where I'm going to teach my AI to work with the RJ. And I'm going to tell, that's just how I've envisioned it. I might be wrong. Bar doesn't work this way. I'm going to teach my AI that the RJ colors are red, black, and white. That's always going to be it, right? And I expect that AI to not share that information or any information about the RJ, PMSs, logos, their preferred layouts, because this AI is going to know all the designs that we're doing. So then this AI is going to know how to lay this out, how the RJ likes it. Let's say you're going for the RJ and you're trying to get them as a client and you're using the same AI I'm using. And then you tell the AI, I'm going to do an ad for the RJ. The AI is going to know what kind of layout the RJ prefers. So it's going to give it to you like that. That's what I'm talking about. That AI needs to keep my client's preferences and all the stuff that I taught it how to do and what my client likes secretive to me only and not share with anybody else. That's how I envision it.
But okay, maybe
I see it, and I see Pete's perspective as well, because it's like we all take things from everybody, like, and it's like inspiration, and the AI is probably doing the same thing. I just don't want it
doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I just don't want it to be like, oh, generate me something a newspaper would design, and then it just takes something from the RJ and gives it to somebody. You know what I mean? I just don't want it to take it
like your Formula One.
I want it to do something. Yeah, exactly. Like your Formula One thing. What if somebody says, I want a Formula One design with this, that,
like
and this.
like Pete's design. Like give me Pete's. Something like that.
And then all
you worked on that shit for hours.
It just changes out the car. Yeah. And that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean that happens around the world too, though. You know, like I get your guys' perspective.
But people are like, you know, cease and desist. Don't use my shit. You didn't change it enough,
but it doesn't always work.
You know? Yeah, I mean it doesn't always work.
I mean, look at Orozco. Remember, he said that dude in China or something took his designs and was putting them on T-shirts and selling them.
And closed out of his Instagram.
And there was jack shit he could do about it. Yeah, there was jack shit that he could do about it. You know what I'm I'm saying? So Martin, just to understand your perspective here, you're saying that, okay, we'll say you're the RJ and you trained your AI and I'm doing something for you, or I'm trying to do something for the RJ and the AI replicates exactly what the RJ would do.
Let's say that you are an agency.
Is this how the AI is being trained in whatever program?
I don't even know, honestly.
Or we're just
I don't even know if it's like that. We're just fucking
we've kind of gone off into like a tangent.
Yeah, into other realms.
I presented.
Let's move it back and move forward. Yeah,
I presented the question. You can train your Firefly, which is their name for their AI program.
Their AI program, yeah, which
to your specific brand standards. So you could. That was the question. If you could, you can do that. But do you think that that's good, or do you think that that's bad? Do you think maybe
I think it's great
over time?
So
that was my big question.
I would say, to reel it back, for my company, yes, the AI can learn and the AI can be shared. Mm-hmm. For my personal projects that I want to work on, for me, my own personal stuff, no, I do not want to share that stuff. For my big company that's publicly known, that's publicly faced, that all their shit will be out there, that if I get replaced tomorrow, their stuff is still going to continue. Yes, I learn from this machine. For my own personal designs, that I'm my own doodles, no, stay out of my little bubble. I like the idea of choosing, hey, you could learn off of this, but in my eyes, I'm not that kind of artist that you will learn from me. So that's how I would ensure.
Yeah. So I have a question piggybacking off of that. I sent you guys something the other day from a small company, them using like AI to design an ad, and Pete's like, yeah, that's great. For a small company to use it, that's awesome. I agree, because you're trying to get your company off the ground, and like if you don't know design, just putting something into a AI generator and like getting sort of what you want is awesome. How do you feel about a big company using that and just running with something completely AI generated, almost no design touch up on it?
Martin, you go first.
There's nothing to stop them from. There's nothing to stop them from using it, and exactly what Pete said, that all that AI shit looks very similar, and it's easy to spot. So, if you're a big ass company, a multi-million-dollar company, and you're gonna be a cheap ass, and you're gonna use AI for your shit, guess what? Your customers are gonna see that shit. And then it's going to cheapen your brand. But you can't compare something that's handmade. And it goes back to this, right? What do you want? You want something from China, or do you want something from America that's handmade? Beautiful, handcrafted. It's a piece of art. That's what you're paying for when you come. Exactly like Robert said. You're coming for me because you want a tailored suit versus a suit from Walmart. That's it. It's the same shit. Right. That small company can't afford a fucking tailored suit. And they should be using AI. Like, good for them. Once they get off the ground and they get to a comfortable position where they're making good money, guess what? They're going to be like, you need to update our stuff. Hopefully, that's the plan. Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. When it's, starting, creativity is a privilege, not a necessity. Or sorry, design. Design is a privilege, not a necessity, right? You get to privilege to spend money or have an internal design team to take care of that stuff. Most of regular civilians, non-creatives are, busy doing other shit. They're like, hey, I don't know how to do this, but hey, I could type in some words and it's going to give me something great. It works. It works for right now. I mean, there's a reason why templates are successful, because it's like, hey, this works for now. It's a for now, not forever. But once income starts coming in, then hopefully they would reach out to someone and get that tailored suit. The services that we provide. But I have no problem with a mom and pop that's starting up and doing that. And if a big company wants to do that, they have every right to. And I think they should, because that way when their shit looks the same, or it looks terrible, or they're spending too much time working on that. Because here's the thing too, it's not just like, hey, type in some words and do it. Some of the stuff needs to be resized, or it needs to be exported through other channels. And you have guys
that are not always the highest of quality.
Exactly. You have ladies and gentlemen that are doing our executives or VPs or directors or startups are like, well, I can do this. It's like, okay, is your time better spent on creating all these prompts and exporting all these assets for, we'll say it's going to take you 3 to 4 hours. Those 4 hours, how much of that are you paying on yourself? So how much are you spending already company money on you creating something that takes you twice as long when you could spend 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, $10,000 on a small branding kit and branch it out to someone that knows exactly what they're doing, and you get it in the first run. Boom, done. Minor revisions and it's out the door, or you're gonna sit there for 8 hours and shit. Hey, I did this myself, but I lost a day worth of work.
That's a dream.
No, but he's
getting it
no
with 0 or 1 revision.
No, yeah. I mean,
but
for
all the early designers out there, for the young designers.
Yeah, but if you ask the right questions,
not everybody's like that. Yeah.
True.
If you do, but it's for sure.
No, it's true. If you own a company and let's say you sell cars and you're the owner of the company selling cars, you're gonna spend 8 hours doing a fucking ad where you could spend 8 hours trying to sell a fucking car that's gonna make you $20,000 and pay for that ad, and you're gonna keep money. Or not even, cars aren't $20,000 anymore. Are you gonna?
I wish.
Spend 8 hours on a fucking ad, or spend time selling a car that's gonna make you $50,000? That's what they're worth now, $30,000 to $50,000. I think as a business owner, you're better off focusing on your business and not something that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, because it's a waste of time and it's a waste of money.
Yeah. So
true that.
One of the claims that I also heard when they were talking about AI Firefly is the first public AI trained video model that is commercially safe to use, meaning that there's no way that you can trace it back to something that has not been vetted, that won't get you sued if you use it. I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's really great for designers and companies that are going to be purchasing Adobe for their creatives. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't tickle me or anything. It's just, okay, cool. Well, that's what I expect from Adobe. If you want me to use your fucking product professionally, I expect not to get fucking sued. And you don't even have to say that. Yeah. Why do you even have to say that?
They have to say that because there's Pete. I know you've used Midjourney. Mm-hmm. There's also other AI art generators that might not be commercially safe to use. So that's their draw to buying into Adobe for their AI art generator.
I just hope Adobe isn't suing all these other motherfuckers just to get all that clout. But
yeah. Pete, any comment on that?
No,
I think
not
Pete
really.
broke.
No.
Is it man? That's how I feel,
Pete. I just thought it was interesting that they kept saying it, that they were like, yeah, we're commercially safe to use. And I'm like, yeah, I would expect, you're saying, Martin, I would expect that. But the fact that they have to say it as like a marketing tool is like, okay.
I think it's because...
Why are you pushing it so much?
Their Firefly, my understanding was that it learned off their stock inventory first. That's why. Mm-hmm. And their inventory was safe to use because it was learning off their shit that they've already bought, that they've paid for. So
and that was dope.
It wasn't open like how Midjourney was in the beginning, where it was to the web and it was just pulling assets from everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it said it, because hey, Midjourney, we can't tell you that those images are licensed, but all our shit is. So,
like, from what you've shown me, Pete, and from what I've used in Firefly, in Photoshop generative AI shit, it is leagues different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From
there's other ones
you can
too.
Generate. Yeah.
There's other ones that too are you generate some pretty awesome shit. Like I said, I like it. To me, this is where I'm like, okay, I could share certain stuff and I can't share certain stuff, but whatever. Because I'm also using the tool. I'm using Midjourney to see if my idea has legs. Because when I work by myself, it's just me. So I'm like, okay, I can't always bounce things off of you guys. You're not here, or I need a quick response. So it's like, okay, let me let me see if this concept has legs, and if it does, bam, I run with it. So
yeah.
So I have a question.
Okay.
So are you telling me right now if I go into Photoshop and I start working on a project, it's gonna record whatever work I do and train their AI?
That I'm not sure because
I don't like that shit.
They said
I don't like that shit.
So this is what from the video. You can tag your artwork as not allowed, and my question was, but why wouldn't it be the other way around? So that's what I remember hearing in the live broadcast.
Because Pete,
you can tag your
that's
artwork
the case
as not allowed. So
if that's the case, all your artwork you're creating in Photoshop is being used to train AI, bro. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that sucks not being told, but it's not going to make me stop using the program.
Obviously, yeah.
You know?
So that's where
I'm like, okay, if it's learning, well, I hope it's fucking learning good shit, because shit better be good. I'm
a great fucking designer.
Because I'm a great fucking Photoshop designer.
Yeah, but you should be compensated for teaching someone something. So now I feel like
it's
Adobe
not a
needs
someone.
It's still an entity. It's a thing. It's a thing that's learning. Like, it doesn't have a soul, but we could argue the fact that Adobe owns that machine learning.
I believe you are.
Like, Adobe owns that machine, and Adobe is responsible for that AI.
Start the movement.
It's their kid.
Start the movement. Start it, Martin. I'll be behind you. I just don't want to start it.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, that's a great question, Martin, because it's really if I'm in Photoshop right now, or if I'm in Illustrator right now, or if I'm in
Dicks. Let's do dicks.
Right now.
Dicks.
It's not. Is it teaching you? Is it teaching you, or is it prompting you? Like when you open Photoshop, here's the new tool or whatever. Is it prompting you? Hey, your artwork is going to be shared with AI Firefly. Do you want to, or do you not? Or is it just automatically doing it? And that's something that you have to go into the settings and like look for it and find it and say, okay, I don't want my shit.
It should not be hard. We should not even be. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't have. It should be right there in your face. Hey, we're gonna use this shit. Do we have authority to use it or not? No, I want you using my shit. And if you're already doing that shit and teaching your fucking AI all the, nah, bro, my shit isn't as amazing as other people. Like, your work, Pete, is fucking dope, and the shit that you do and shit, you should be compensated for that shit if somebody's learning your techniques. That's how I feel about it. And there's artists out there that are as amazing and fucking dope, and it's hard work. It's not fair. It's not fair that they just steal your shit and your knowledge.
Hold on. Do you use Generative Fill or any of that stuff, Martin?
Yeah, I love Generative Fill, bro.
Well, then there you go. You're literally using the shit that you hate.
Catch 22 right now.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but Generative Fill's
I don't use it right now.
It's learning. It's learning.
Well, I just use Generative Expand. I'm using Generative Expand. I'm not.
But it's still learning all this.
No, but you could argue that Generative Expand is.
You're teaching, but you're still teaching it. You're teaching that shit that what it needs to do. Like, hey, this is the kind of artwork. This is how you blend an image. That's how you expand this kind of image. This is the one that I want to run with.
I feel with that when I use Generative Expand, it already knows how to do it because it does it one time and it's like, boom, okay, cool, I did it. Okay, cool. Okay. You know what you're doing.
To wrap it up, and then we'll finish this one. It is learning because it gives you the options of which one blends it correctly. So you're telling it, oh, this image matches this pattern. I like it. Run with it. You just taught it. So if you're using this shit, and
but I don't want to fall behind, bro. Of course I'm going to use it, and it saves me like 20 minutes.
That pushes me into my next topic. So now we're talking about AI Firefly.
Generative
Photoshop.
Expand.
There's two new things that I saw: the Find Distractions button and the Generative Workspace, where you can generate a bunch of different assets at the same time within the same style while you're working, and be able to, like you were saying, Martin, earlier in our podcast, be able to drag those specific assets onto your artboard and use whichever ones you've generated. So going into that,
real
Hold
quick
on
that.
I'm gonna share.
Hold on. No, hold on. Fool. Close the window. Close the window. So we don't want to get a strike on our video. So everyone that's watching or listening. So whatever Sly here mentions or any of these videos, we'll put a link in the description. So you guys can see for yourself of the things that we're talking about. So we would love to share, but unfortunately we'll get this channel striked, and that's not what we're trying to do.
We're just a startup, and we barely have any.
Can we share images?
We don't even
like
have
images are okay.
Yeah, images should be fine. Just you can't share like other videos.
No videos.
If I remember.
No, we're not showing videos.
No audio.
We're just gonna show stills. So this is what you're talking about, right? The generative group thing. What was it called?
Any generative stuff.
Yeah. No. So specifically, what I'm talking about is generative workspace, which is what Martin is
this
showing
one right here. Yeah.
So gotcha. So you look at this, and he's generated multiple different things, and what you can do is grab each. If I remember correctly, grab each one of these and use them separately instead of like what Martin was saying, where you can only use one or the other.
Can you do it real quick, Martin? Is that?
That was just a screenshot.
Gotcha.
That was just an image. Yeah, that was an image.
So, but I wanna go back a little bit. You know, Pete, you were talking about how you can train the AI just by, this is the generative fill that I like, and this is the one that works. One of the things that I saw for their Find Distractions button was they were showing a demo of like a couple getting a photo at a beach, and their child was in, let's say this is the frame. Their child was down here in the bottom frame and very blurry, and they cut the child out and fix it around it, and the generative fill had to put in the pant leg of the woman and fill in the beach. And they got 3 different prompts, and they got to choose which one looked the best. And that goes back to your point, Pete, of like, you're now training the AI model. Here's how you do
preferences.
This. Like, this is not even your preferences. This is how a human should look, because the first one was terrible, but the third one that they looked at was perfect. It looked exactly like their legs. It looked it looked like them. So going back to Pete's point, like, yeah, every time we use that generative fill, we're training that AI model, regardless of if we think about it or not. Like, we're doing that. Do you guys find that you're going to be using that distractions button more in photos?
I would have to play with it first. Honestly,
it's basically there's a person in this photo that I don't like, or there's not that I don't like them, but that I don't want in this photo, or like there's
here's an example.
A person here. Yeah,
sorry,
Martin, if you want to pull
here's an example of this. No, I think it's super dope. The example they gave was a picture with a bunch of like wires, like phone wires on the top, and like they just boom removed everything. Here's
I see it as more for like personal photography. And
so right here we have video? On the left the before.
Can you zoom in?
Let me see. Can we go in?
It's so tiny. You pick like the low ass image.
My bad, guys.
Here's a 200 by 150.
Well, you can kind of see it right here. Like all the hours are in there.
Zoom in.
I can't zoom in, homie. Hold on, let me download it.
You can't hit.
What is it? Command plus. Command plus.
Command plus.
Come on, old man.
Something you can, or you don't know how.
Hit command and scroll on your wheel.
See, it's not doing shit. Wrong way. Is it doing it for you guys? Nah, I don't do shit. No, I could double click with my mouse.
Dude, this is 686 by 386. This is the smallest image.
Whatever, guys.
Don't you?
It was like the only one I could.
For everybody,
it's the only one I could find. Fuck you guys.
It's super high quality.
This fool pulled up 800 by 400. Like, all right, check this out. All
right, fuck
this
you guys.
This is what Photoshop can export. This is generative fill. This is Adobe Firefox.
God damn it! I lost my fucking shit because you guys were like plus and negative and shit.
Dude, that was terrible, bro. That was fucking terrible. I was expecting
fucking 5,000 by 3,000. I'll keep going on with that. I I find that it'll be useful in Photoshop.
Right there. Fuck you guys. There it is. So there would be something like this, like remove this from the back. But do you guys see this? Like if you look at it, you can see the flaws. It's not perfect.
So wait, what's the difference between that and Generative Fill?
This is remove distractions. This is remove distractions. These are distractions right here.
But I'm saying, is that like an action, or how do you even use that? Because you could lasso that real quick and then just hit Generative Fill, and it does the same shit.
Okay, let me share.
Get what I'm saying?
Give me a second.
It's supposed to be a click and automatically removes all the stuff that is distractions, and you kind of just like.
You're training the machine to tell you what a distraction is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, so here's a better description. This is like actually from this is from The Verge.
Some of this shit makes it feel like designers are just going to be lazy, and
so this one's a little bit smaller. Shit. You know, you guys aren't going to be able to see this, but this gives you the general.
Damn, sorry, that's fucking tiny. What the fuck, bro? You give me shit over here.
These lines.
This is tiny as fuck too.
Yeah, but you can see what is being removed. There's the lines. There's the power lines, and then there's the people, and that's what's getting taken away.
But is it a hotkey? Is it an action button?
It's a button. It's a button in Photoshop.
And you just press it once, and then it does it by itself. So instead of lassoing and doing it yourself, it's just going to automatically assume what the distractions are.
Correct. And
I don't.
You can also use it. You can also use it as like a brush tool, where you see the people there. You can brush.
Yeah, you brush it in
like over them, and you can take them out.
Like what?
Okay,
what Pete said. Teaching
I'll take it back. Yeah, I'll take it back. I think depending on the image and time frame of my job, of what I need to do, if that will trim some time for me to meet a deadline, I would probably run it the first time and see what it does. And if it sucks, I know my way of just removing that shit right away.
Well, you're telling it, so it'll tell you. These are the distractions. Do you want to get rid of them?
No, I'm saying, okay, I'll tell it. Yeah. I'll say, hey, I'll highlight everything that these are distractions and run it.
Yeah.
And if it sucks, then I'm not gonna use it. But if I know I have that tool, just like if it's efficient, tool bag, just like a tool bag or anything, you buy a certain kind of wrench or hammer or whatever. Okay, I know I have a table saw, but I don't use it all the time. But I know when I need to use it, I have that tool for that specific thing.
I see it being utilized by you probably the most, because you're going to photo shoots for your magazine and doing those covers
and removing distractions.
If I remember, when I used to go to some of the photo shoots for one of our magazines that we don't do anymore, there was always something. There was always something that we forgot or we didn't do. Like, oh, we needed to take this out, but we booked the photo shoot like a week ago, and we can't book it again. Now let's just take that and get rid of that little thing. And instead of us taking the time to really like figure out how to mask everything out and completely copy it, take it out, this button could do so much of that work for us in like no time at all.
So it would probably take you would probably give that job to a junior designer. It would probably take that junior designer an hour to remove all the distractions that you don't want in the image. This does it like that. That's a time saver. We're definitely going to use it.
We're being told that it does it like that, but does it actually work that way? That's the other thing.
I haven't tried it.
Until I work with it, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool, and it's like awesome. It could definitely be used for a lot of distraction stuff, like removing exit signs, cameras, plugs, wires, that kind of shit. But if it sucks, it sucks. Then I won't use it until they make a better version of it. I mean, I use Generative Fill very often when I do distractions, or I guess we'll call them that, when removing stuff. I use Generative Fill now, and it just plugs it away. I'm like, cool, works instantly, for me, and just keep going.
Yeah, I think it's like an expansion of that specific thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Generative Fill, Generative Expand, those are my go-to. Those are my tool in my toolbox every day. Like those Generative Expand just saves me so much time Generative Fill also saves me so much time. And I honestly, like, I fucking love it. That to me is a game changer. How do you guys feel? How do you feel about the new stuff that came out? The stuff that they were pushing out, Sly? Because for me personally, it just felt like it was.
Can you tell me what the new stuff is?
Well, the stuff that we're talking about, like a lot of it was just watching this stuff was all about generative fill. Generative fill on Photoshop, generative expand, generative fill on video, generative expand on video. And it's like super cool, but I've already seen it. I get it. And it just feels like they're just tweaking it. They're making it better. But I really felt like this year there wasn't anything that was like, holy shit, like, holy fuck, blew me away.
So for me, we're on Photoshop right now. Those are the two main things that I noticed. And I was like, oh, these are really cool. But the find distractions button, I've already been using for my own photos in Google Photos. Like Google has that built in. And when I take photos, I see that stuff, I mask it out and I do it. It's awesome that I can do it in Photoshop now because with Google, it's like I'm just using my finger and I'm like on the phone,
So they're late. They're late to the game.
So I feel like Adobe is late. But also, they've been training it on commercially safe stuff. Back to what they were saying. Google just has access to everything, so they can just train it on everybody's photos and everything that they've uploaded it to. So I do feel maybe that they're a little late to that.
But
the generative workspace I thought was awesome. The generative extend, which is the Premiere Pro thing, where they can extend video.
That's fucking crazy. That was crazy.
Cool. That was crazy.
Holy shit.
Like
but you could see the difference.
You need it to 6 seconds or 7
3
seconds.
3 seconds, yeah.
And you can extend it and it's auto-generated. I thought that was awesome.
That was cool.
But that's like not anything that I do right now, so I don't know how I would use it.
But even then, though,
be able to use it. You what?
But even then, on that, like, so no. I just noticed that my battery's like red. I was like, oh shit, I need to get my fucking charger before my computer shuts down. Even that, like,
I thought you were gonna pull out a gun or a knife or something. That man,
you know what?
He's like, you know what? Break yourself.
Wait, what are we talking about? I totally forgot what we're talking about, bro.
We were talking about the generative stuff that you brought up, and the things that
on video
that Adobe brought up. So let's get off of Photoshop. We've talked a lot about Photoshop. Yeah. I want to touch on Illustrator because what I saw was a lot of updates for Illustrator. They brought paste on path, which was really cool. Being able to draw a path and then take all of your icons and paste those icons onto that path, whatever path you want, and then be able to rearrange it. I thought that was dope. I don't know how I would use it. But I thought that was really interesting, and I've never seen that before. New and improved image trace. Now you can have image trace with gradients and automatically change those gradients to real gradients inside Illustrator, so you can be able to edit those. Usually, what happens with your image trace is it'll take it and then it'll make it, like all those bands, because it won't actually like make the gradient. It'll just put a bunch of bands till it gets to the black, let's say black to white, right? But now you can change that to where it's actually a gradient that you can edit and move around. I thought that was really cool. Another one of these AI tools, object mockup within Illustrator. One of the tips that the people were talking about on it was generate your mockups with AI Firefly, because it's been trained on so many stock photos. Generate a mockup for like a hat or like a t-shirt, and then use the Illustrator mockup thing, and then it'll automatically put it on that shirt all around, in a 3D object space. So I thought that was something we could test out with our design project. A little hint, a little subtle thing that we're doing this season. Foreshadowing. The other, the last thing that I would say is the 3D to 2D and 2D to 3D artwork with Project Neo. That was another new thing in Illustrator. We've touched a lot on the AI Firefly. How do you guys feel about these new Illustrator things? There was a lot I covered, I know. Pete's looking a little tired over there.
Yeah. I was messing around with Project Neo. This is Project Neo.
Is this you?
Like the
is this
3D
you right
stuff.
now?
Yeah. I logged in. I'm playing with it.
This is crazy.
This is fucking dope, dude. Look at that
because
shit.
Because you can...
explain to people that don't know, what is Project Neo.
Okay. This is Project Neo. You can take your 2D artwork...
They're just listening.
For those of you that are just tuning in, we are talking about Project Neo and how you can take your 2D artwork and move it into a 3D space and be able to export a 3D object, a vector artwork. You can mess around with shadows and spacing and all kinds of crazy shit. I thought this was super cool. I don't know how I would utilize it, but damn,
you said you could bring in your own object, your own 2D object.
So, okay. So
let's use this in real world. How can we use this in real world? Okay. Martin, can you import
here's the
your logo, your face logo?
Yeah, see if you can do that, Martin.
Well, let's look at these right here. Like that's what they're showing you right here.
I don't care about that.
Right? Yeah, but this is their... Obviously, they're going to be like, hey, here's the shit that you can do. Like, okay, look at that. Look at that camera down there. Go down to the camera. Quickly apply and adjust, effects. Somebody could make that in 2D, right? Let's say they illustrated that. And then if you look to the right of it, you see the house or this like villa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You bring it to Project Neo, then it makes it like that.
So let's try it out. Martin, can you import a file?
Do you have it downloaded?
Let me look for it. Let's keep talking, and then we'll come back to it.
Okay.
I'll mess around with it.
No, just one of the things that I saw them do. Beginning, just when you
so he's going to download it. He's going to download it.
Well, let me find the file first. Yeah. Let me find the file.
So... one of the things that the keynote speaker...
I'm a little buzzed already, bro. So I'm like,
okay, hold on. Let me hide all my tabs.
We're not supposed to be sober on this, Pete. What's wrong with you?
This thing is gonna be a little... It's a little...
okay, kind of counts, I guess. What am I looking for?
Project Neo.
No.
And your logo.
Files, bro.
You're looking for your logo.
My logo.
Yeah.
What's my logo?
Okay, hold on.
What'd you name it, Pete?
Let me, while he's looking for this, let me tell you what they were doing. So he took a 2D illustration of like Saturn, let's say, with a ring. Saturn has rings, right? So he had a 2D illustration of it. Then he brought it over to Project Neo and said 3D. And then all of a sudden, there's the 3D like sphere. You can move it around.
But I'm saying, didn't Illustrator do that too? The 2D to 3D? Like you have a character?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they didn't call it Project Neo. Or did I miss that part? Apparently. Because
that's what they're calling it.
Whatever Martin is in, what they were showing on the stage, they were within Illustrator.
He was taking it from Illustrator to Project Neo, then in Project Neo, exporting the vector, bringing it back to Illustrator, and then they have a new, like, I don't know what the tool is called, but Bubblify, whatever, makes it look like puffy, and it has like 3D kind of like shadows and shit. Obviously, this
just shadows.
This vintage ale has. Fucking,
what?
It's a little toasty in here.
Oh shit! All right, Martin, you got it.
Nah, put it my way.
Okay, so there's that. How do you feel about this object markup within Illustrator, Pete?
I think it's pretty rad.
I think it's super dope.
Yeah, I like to do mock-ups, especially when I do branding kits or any presentation stuff. Or even just doing something on a t-shirt like when we're going to do here for this channel, to show you guys, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I think that's pretty rad. And like Adobe said, they do have a huge amount of mock-ups already. So learning right there, like that's pretty awesome. So I'm excited for that.
Did you ever think about doing generative AI for a mock-up. I had never thought about that until they brought it up.
Yes, I have. Yeah, actually, that's pretty much how I think about it when I do stuff. Because there's even like some beer stuff that I've done with just AI. There's the brandy bottle that I was working on. I ended up generating a few bottle shapes. Actually, the very first one was generated by AI for me to make like the pitch deck and get all that stuff together. So, yes, that's pretty much the way that I've thought about it all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I had never, when they said that, I was like, oh shit, that's like a...
You can't upload.
Way to use... You can't upload yet?
No, it's not. It's still beta, so you can't upload your design up there. You have to work with the shapes you have. So that's what it's said anyways.
Okay, cool.
But this is like this is the basic stuff, and
I think
you
it's
can move it
user
around.
error, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it
No,
could
I
definitely
Googled it.
be...
Okay, cool. No, whatever, bro.
Can you not export from how to upload to Pro?
Project Neo.
It's all the matrix popping up.
Yeah.
But there.
No, all good.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep sharing.
Yeah, no worries. So
Very
that was,
good.
one of the things that we were talking about. I really like the image trace, upgrades that they did.
That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting
Yeah.
to some of that stuff. I think the pattern, doing the pattern on there is mainly for like illustrations, or like I guess editorial. For me, there'd be some. You utilize your newspaper, so I think that would be different. But
You're talking about the
magazine.
paste on path?
Yeah, paste on path.
Huh?
Yeah. Paste on
I thought
path,
it was just cool, for like you said, illustrations. Like somebody was talking about doing like a clock and that sort of stuff. Like if you want to do something in a perfect circle, usually what I would do is like I'd make a circle in Illustrator, and then I would put my icons on there, and then put a bunch of guides and trying to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
Now you can just make that path, copy and paste, and it fucking does it for you. You don't have to worry about it.
I
and
definitely
then you can
see
take
it.
that icon and move it to the other side, and it pushes the icons over to the other side.
Yeah, like I could see using it for editorial if I'm doing some kind of feature and I want some kind of line, the line's invisible, and having these objects kind of follow that path. I think that's something I definitely use. But no, man, honestly, it's cool. I love Illustrator. I think Illustrator is one of my favorite ones. Honestly, the trio. I've been thinking about getting a little Photoshop Illustrator ID tattooed on my arm. Yeah.
Let's do that, bro. Let's do that shit. I'm down to do that shit.
Tattoo like that, like a little nerdy tattoo.
When was the last time you got a tattoo, Martin?
Bro, if we get like 2,000 viewers by the next season, I'll get that shit tattooed on me. Guaranteed.
Martin's like, if we get 30 viewers...
No, because we got like 20 or some shit like that. 27. I'm like, no, not 3 years.
Yeah. If we get 21 viewers,
I'm not a tattoo. Like, I'm not a tattoo person. I have one tattoo. Like, that's it. But it's in my back. I don't fucking see it.
So. You know what?
Jonesing for tattoos, man.
Let's do it, bro. I'm down to get one. Dude, Sly, you better get one with us.
If we get 100 subscribers, I'll get
100
tattoo. Fuck
it. All right. Oh, that's even better.
You get a what?
A Room 250
tattoo. Damn, doggo.
Nice. 200, I'll do it. No, when we get to 250, I'll do the same thing.
Oh, 250.
250 is a good one.
Fuck it, let's do it. Let's do it at 250, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's jump to Premiere Pro. I don't use it at all, but I thought it was really cool. The objects selection tool for cutting out quickly. So you can now select subjects within videos that have backgrounds and shit and cut them out and paste them onto a new video without having to do all the masking.
I want to see that.
In a video.
I played with
that. Was fucking dope. I saw that.
From what they showed, it looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Using it in real life, I don't know.
Do you think
because
that's recorded?
I don't touch Premiere Pro.
I think all that shit's recorded. Their presentation. I don't think they're doing shit. I think they're hitting play on the screen.
No, because they fuck up. They fuck up sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
They're
like, oh shit, I messed up. Let me go back.
Did fuck up.
Yeah, they messed up. If you watch, a couple times.
If you watch the rest of the, day 1 and day 2, they go through all of these things and they try and do it live. And there's definitely times where, like Martin says, they're like, fuck
it doesn't
up,
do it perfect.
Do something right.
Yeah.
But the objects selection tool looks awesome because they were.
So imagine if you're dancing like this and shit, and then you just mask me and I do all the fucking movement and shit. Like the thing tracks all my movement, and then you can remove my background and then put me.
So you don't have to do it throughout the video.
Crazy on a fucking video, bro. That's fucking crazy. A smart mask. That's what it is. It follows what you're masking and it follows the movement of it. That did blew my mind a little bit. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
that goes back to what me and Martin were saying. They're really pushing artificial intelligence because that's artificial intelligence finding that subject, cutting it out, and then giving you that file.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's huh?
You got a bedtime? Getting some yawns?
No, man. Like I said, I've been working.
You ready for Mimi's? You ready for Mimi's pee?
Hell yeah, I'm ready for me. I'm you now.
Yeah, me too, bro.
I'm crazy.
Hurry the fuck up, motherfucker! I ain't going to bed.
It's 9:12. I'm fucking tired.
Bro, I just gotta say, man, like when I started this shit, I was like, I don't even want to fucking do this podcast. Fuck that shit. But now talking to my buddies, I'm like, fuck it. I'm having a good time. You guys like removed all the negativity today. Yeah. So good shit, man. I love you guys.
Love you too, bro.
Hey, life goes on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next thing.
Premiere Pro, bro.
Is there anything else that you guys want to add to Illustrator or Premiere Pro before I move into Lightroom?
No, I'm excited about Lightroom. I love Lightroom.
Okay. I don't use Lightroom, but
dude, bro, you're killing me. Premiere Pro, I don't use it. Lightroom, I don't use it.
You know what? I wanted to cover Adobe MAX because I don't ever I watch the things for the
expand.
That
I don't use it.
No, listen. I watch for the programs that I use: Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. But I don't watch all the other stuff because I'm like, I'm not going to utilize it. There's no time for me to learn this in, for things that we're not using at my company. But, this podcast, I was like, I want to see everything that they've come out with. And I've been seeing more and more clips before our podcast, like, this is the new thing. And some of the illustrators that I've been following, they're like, this new thing is cool. Adobe Fresco is completely free on your tablet now. For everybody that has a tablet,
it's not free. You're paying for that shit, aren't?
No,
you can get it for free.
Adobe
if you
Fresco should be completely free. Don't quote me on that. Should be completely free. Illustrator that I follow is like, you can get it. You should be able to use it. You can animate from it. It's supposedly better than the other Procreate. I don't know. I haven't used it yet. But
have you used it, Pete?
Adobe Fresco.
You know what? Yes, I have.
What'd you think of
it? And let me see, where is it on my? I know I have it on my iPad. I think I was learning Fresco and that's Sketch, some content, and Procreate at the same time, and I wanted to go with Procreate. I just liked how simple Procreate was.
It should be better now. It should be.
It wasn't bad. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Adobe Fresco. Yeah. I do have it on my iPad, just so y'all.
Yeah,
it's right here.
But again,
Fresco
should be free to download. I don't think you have to pay for it.
No, you don't.
So just from those things that I was saying, I was like, we should do something on Adobe Max. So I watched it and I wanted to see everything, that I don't use. That's why I'm saying I don't use Premiere Pro, but I see these new things that they're doing, and I thought they're awesome. And I think we should tell our designers our subscribers, viewers who are watching these new things that are happening. Even though I might not use it, maybe they might be beneficial from it. So Lightroom, I don't use it, but I'm going to start using it because I've gotten back into photography. You know, I have my own stuff that I shoot for my family, and I want to start using it.
Dope.
Pete's got some dramatic lighting over there.
It's because, I'm listening to you, but I'm like, have I used Fresco? And yeah, no, I actually did a face in there. It's just
great. Nice.
Is that Humpty Dumpty, bro? It looks like Humpty Dumpty.
It was because I was trying to figure out like the brushes and like the shadowing.
Okay, cool. From afar, it looked like Humpty Dumpty's face.
No, I was trying to figure out like the shadows.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he has a beard. So I'm like, okay, and he's like blondish beard. So,
yeah, man,
I actually
used Fresco. Hard to draw.
I used Fresco for that, and then I switched over to Procreate. But no, I have used it. I used almost not all the programs, but for me, I obviously do the Trio, Adobe Illustrator, InDesign. But I also use Premiere and After Effects very often. I used to use XD when I was doing UI UX.
I used XD a lot, yeah.
I use Bridge with InDesign. I use InCopy, Bridge to find all my stuff. Lightroom when I
tried using Bridge, I just couldn't get into it.
Well, Bridge is just for me. It's just a visual finder. That's all it is. It's just for me to, especially when I have like all these PSD files or AI files in my folder. When I open up in Bridge, it just gives me that quick thumbnail, and I'm like, okay, gotcha. I see it right there. Open it. Yeah, I just like it better than Finder.
That now, though.
And
like I just use Finder, like the Mac Finder, to look at shit. The only thing it doesn't display is InDesign. That's the thing.
You know what I've noticed
with the Bridge would be better for that, but
the Finder now, dude, I think reads what's in the like JPEGs or what's in your documents, and that makes it really easy to find what you're looking for. Because if you don't know the file name, you could just type in whatever the visual says on it, and it'll pull it up. And I really like that. It's really efficient and really easy to use.
So, anyways, I want to get back to Lightroom. I don't use it today, but I'm planning on using it now going forward. I downloaded it on my phone because now you can do a lot of the stuff that you do on the computer through your phone, and it's all, from Adobe's words, non-destructive. So whatever edits you make to the photo, you can still go back to your original photo in case you didn't like how those edits look. You can go back, which is something I really like because when I'm editing my photos with Google Photo or something like that, these are my personal photos that I'm uploading to the cloud. Sometimes it's destructive, so it's like I make the change and then that it saves over it, and I don't have that original to go back to. So I like that Lightroom is non-destructive, and you can now trim videos right from the app in real time. As the video is playing, you can like trim it down. I thought that was really cool. They're building frame.io. Do you guys use that? Frame.io?
No.
Explain what that is.
It's supposed to be frame.io.
Is it like Trello?
It's like Bridge, but for teams. So Bridge and Trello, I think. I really don't know. I haven't used it at all, so that's why I'm asking if you guys use it.
It sounds like it's kind of like Trello, where you could just showcase whatever you're working on and you send it to your client and they could like see.
It's also like Bridge, yeah.
It's a management.
Yeah. It's like a management thing. It seems kind of cool, but again, it's like I feel like Adobe again is playing catch up with this. Like you're not innovating.
I think Adobe bought frame.io.
But this shows video. You could upload the video and do all that stuff. Like it's a little
but
that's cool.
But you can.
It's a little bit different, but same
like
idea.
Second, if I remember correctly, you can comment like, "Oh, this scene needs to be cut," or this needs.
So
to be,
it's Trello for video.
Reviews, right?
Yeah.
But it's Trello for video. That's what it is.
Video and photo. So the demonstration they were giving is you can take, which is crazy. They've started implementing this in cameras. You can take a photo, with a Sony camera or anything. It's built into the camera. After you take the photo, it uploads to frame.io. and then whoever's on the other side of the team, like let's say the photographer's out doing a shoot. Let's say, Pete, you're sitting in the office. You're like, hey, I need this shot. The photographer's doing the photo shoot across town. They take the photo. It automatically uploads to your frame.io. And you're like, oh, you know what? I don't need this person, or, maybe do this scene. They see that. They now take another photo. It comes back to you. And you're like, oh, this is perfect, or change this. You're all getting it in real time within frame.io, built into the camera without any dongles, which is crazy. And then also, you can take the photos and it's automatically going to your Lightroom and you can edit those.
I think I like that. But I'm not a photographer.
Super sick, but
it's again, super cool. But can you imagine being a photographer on site and you're taking these shots, and now you have to worry about focusing on your job, and then you have your fucking client just bing, ding, 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 do this. Like,
I don't think you would. Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm good. I mean, I don't know how it would work. I don't know where you get the creativity there as a photographer. Yeah, but it's it sounds cool in theory, but I don't know if it's actually practical. So any photographer,
we should use it.
It looked really cool when they were using it. But
or anyone who uses this, if you're listening, hit us up. Let us know. Leave a comment, please. If
it's free to use,
comment down below.
Yeah, but
is it free to use?
This is
free to use up to 2 members.
Sure, it's limited.
Yeah, it's limited. 2 gigabytes up to 2 only 2 projects. You have to delete your shit. If you guys want, we could use it live. You want to fuck with it and play around with it.
You want to fuck with it, man?
I want to fuck with it.
You want to fuck with it?
Fuck with it. I want to fuck with Frame.io, homie.
This guy. Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to take a lot more photos, so maybe
so you never use
that's
Lightroom?
What gets me into.
Like that's
no, I was always.
What about you, Martin?
Intimidated by it.
Nah,
Premiere.
I played with it, but not really. Premiere, yeah, definitely.
How often?
Nah, rarely. I would love to. Honestly, I would love to like
After Effects.
Yeah. I've used all of them and played with them.
No,
not often.
Sly.
No, not often.
No. Here's the real question: have you used them for a project? You can fuck with them. But have you used them for a project to create something? Not you, Pete. I know you have.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. Just really basic stuff. Nothing crazy. Just a social media post. Maybe like 5 or 10 social media posts in like 9 years.
For what?
I would love to do it more, but...
Premiere Pro?
Yeah, Premiere Pro.
Okay. No, I haven't.
Even
I've
Photoshop.
never had to use Premiere Pro. I've never really had to edit any video. So that's why I've never used Premiere Pro. Besides when we had to upload for the podcast, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I need to add this and this. So I just looked up some videos real quick. Okay, how do I add this? And like, how do I do my transitions in? And that was really, it was cool to look at. I've tried to use After Effects, but I've never had any projects that have like really called for it, from clients. So I've never really had to dive super deep into it. And anything that I've used within After Effects, it's been like my personal stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to finish this, and just kind of push it off, and I start doing something else.
Yeah. So what I tell my junior is like, I tell her like, just mess around with movement in Photoshop, because that timeline in Photoshop kind of like trains you for that program that you're talking about. If you fuck with it in Photoshop, Premiere, if you mess around with the timeline in Photoshop, it kind of gives you an idea. So if you go into Premiere Pro, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to want to just not fuck with it. But if you kind of play with it in Photoshop, movement and stuff, you go into it, it kind of gives you a little bit more confidence to kind of mess with it. So that's what I tell my junior, learn how to do a little bit of movement in Photoshop, like do GIFs, like basic movement, and then go to Premiere Pro and mess with it. That helps you out.
But that's a different thing. Video premieres video. It's not.
Yeah, I felt
but I'm just talking about the timeline.
Yeah, it's not.
Like
I don't
Premiere
think it's
Pro than
but a Premiere Pro is all about timeline, bro. Timeline design. That's how I see it. Like you're working on your timeline. That's where your layers are at.
But it's a clip. It's just a clip. It's a video clip, and you just.
I see it as
You know, where do you want to cut? Where you
Adobe
want to
After
transition?
Effects.
After Effects is different.
Versus.
After Effects, you want to mess with things and, movement. Premiere,
that's what I'm saying.
Video edit,
Premiere
video
Pro
editing,
and
strictly.
After Effects is more closely than Photoshop and Premiere Pro.
What? Say it again.
So Martin is talking about Photoshop being close to Premiere Pro.
No,
I'm saying After Effects is closer to Premiere Pro than Premiere Pro.
No, what I'm saying is like if you're like a graphic designer and you're playing with Photoshop, if you want to jump over from Photoshop to some sort of program that does video, if you play with the timeline in Photoshop, it's kind of a nice introduction into these other programs because you get to work on a timeline because those programs they don't have like layers. They're timeline. You're just working on the timeline. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, which is
but it's also layers. It's also layers that you're working on.
Yeah, ogres are like onions. They have layers.
After Effects and Premiere also have layers. Like they all have your layers.
No way, but
you have your everything's on a timeline, but you have your layers.
But
everything's strong.
No, I'm saying like it gives you
shit.
like it kind of gives you an intro to. You don't agree with that? It gives you an intro to working on a timeline.
No.
Okay.
No, it's like
I think we've gotten
like
too
Photoshop is closer to Premiere on the emphasis of you could move things and you adjust and little like bams and where things come in. Premiere is just literally video editing, just when you want to transition and cuts and moves, and you could add gradient colors to that, but you're not animating anything unless it's like an add-on. But the actual video, you're just dealing with the video itself. But anyways, off topic.
Yeah, whatever.
Mr. David.
Yeah, let's move forward.
That's it. You know, we talked about Project Neo. Would you guys like to talk about Adobe Express? I mean, Pete, you said
no.
Honestly, I haven't used Adobe Express in a while, and the last time I used it, it felt like it was behind like the other program, the competitor.
What's the competitor?
Behind Canva, like way behind Canva, bro. Like,
so you're using
I don't
Canva
even fuck
more
with,
often?
I'm not even using Canva right now, to be honest.
What
but I think 2 years ago, my company wanted me to work on Canva and wanted me to work on Adobe Express. So I was working with both, and working with Adobe Express and Canva had more options. They had way more designs, a bunch of different designs than Adobe Express, and it was just easier to use. It was more friendly user.
I got to ask you, what are you guys using Adobe Express or Canva for?
Our social team does not use Adobe Express. They use Canva. That's it. They will not even fuck with the Adobe products. Yeah. Our social media team, because I don't design the social media stuff, they're just using Canva. And I tried to get them to use Adobe Express, and they were like, no, Canva has more options. And they did. Canva is more, well, I don't know now because I haven't used it in a long ass time, but Canva at the time felt like they were way, way ahead of fucking Adobe. That's my take. Pete?
Do you use either of them?
No.
No comment.
Do you use either of them?
I have used Canva, and I have used Adobe Express, but nowhere near as much as I do everything else. So my level of expertise on those is low.
So I want to mess with Adobe Express because from what I saw at this Adobe MAX event, looks like a program that I use for digital animation for web sizes. So that means like 300 by 20, 300 by 600. It looks like that program that we can use in Adobe. So I want to test it out and see if we can do that, because maybe we could save some money as a company. Maybe I could save my company some money to be able to use that program, and like maybe it'd be better.
Oh, you hear me breathing, bro?
Fucking whistling over there.
Dude, I'm so stuffed up. I'm surprised you haven't said anything. Like, my nose is completely
because you're not like this.
Sorry, bro. I got.
But anyways,
shit.
I'm just like, I'm looking at that program. I'm like, I want to test it out, because now from what I saw from their demonstration, I'm like, oh, we do that stuff in this other program, CreateTopy, for our web designs, and it exports HTML5. It exports for the web-based programs that we use, Google Ad Manager, the Trade Desk. I can't remember the other. There's like 4 of them that we export for.
Gotcha.
But if we can do that within Adobe Express, that's one less program that I have to pay for in my budget for the year. And it's Adobe, so it's a lot more user-friendly because we already know the other programs. They try to mimic those things throughout. So I thought that was really interesting for Adobe Express. I just wanted to see if you guys used it, what your take was. Maybe I try out Canva as well. Maybe they do those.
Okay.
So that's the end of what I had to touch on. Do you guys have anything else that you would like to add before we end this podcast?
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to do a thing where at the end of each episode that we record, to share something that we're working on for that week, if whatever we can from your job. I think that'd be cool because then it shows, potential designers or up and coming designers or seasoned designers too, like, oh shit, what kind of artworks is being out there? They see it in the wild, because we talk all this stuff and share our knowledge, but also like it'd be cool to share, hey, this is a current thing that I'm working on. So since I kind of just sprung this on you guys, I'll just share.
Me and Martin are completely blindsided by this.
Exactly.
Yeah, completely.
But I just wanted to share this one. So,
I don't have anything to show.
I created this ad last week for one of our advertisers called Dream Exotics, and they wanted to fucking Martin over here whistling.
Oh, am I still whistling? My bad.
They wanted to redesign, and the previous thing that they had was atrocious, and so they asked me to create something. And this is what I came up with. This is the first concept. They liked it. It was immediate approval from the client. So I'm working on 2 other versions, actually 3 other versions. But
make sure
I just
that QR code is 100% black.
Don't tell me how to live my life. But yeah, I just wanted to share that.
I'm just saying, offset printing, we have so much issues with 4-color print on QR codes.
Okay, for sure. Well, I mean, I have a version up here, so they haven't told us anything, but I'll double check that.
Okay.
So
it might be, they might have a digital offset press, but for us, when we're
I don't think that's what we're doing.
When we're printing QR codes, we're telling all of our advertisers and designers, like, you should just make it 100% black if it's going to be offset, because 1 plate versus 4 is going to, you're going to make sure that QR code is readable. If there's any shift, like even just a tiny shift, it could render it. It's a possibility. It's not 100%. Could render it unreadable, and then your QR code is like.
But is that in the newspaper or is that on a magazine?
Wait, what? If it's not 100% rich black, it won't be readable?
100% black, not 100% rich black. Rich black is
40 to 20,
CMYK.
60. Yeah. I forgot the fuck.
I'm talking 100% black, no cyan, no yellow, no magenta. That's for our newspaper, and I also tell my designers to do it for our
print
magazines.
I've never had an issue with color of QR codes. The only issues I've had is that they're too small, and I try to keep them under 1/2 inch. Mm-hmm. I try not to go smaller than that.
Under 1/2 inch? Or you
I keep them at a 1/2 inch. Yeah, I try not to go smaller than that.
Okay.
He's like,
that's a big size right there,
I mean,
it's like 1/2 inch.
About 1/2 inch. No, I'm just saying.
Oh, well,
because I've seen it in magazines as well. You never know where the printer's coming from. I'm not saying that any printer is printing them bad, but if any offset is happening, if there's any shift, and it could be just a couple copies, or it could be, none of the copies. But if one of them prints off badly, it's always the customer that gets the bad copy for some reason, and they're like, "What the fuck? My QR code's not reading. Is it all the copies? Is it just my copy?" Just to be safe rather than sorry. I always suggest it for my designers.
For sure.
100%.
No, good shit, man.
But I do. I want to share something that I'm working on.
Oh yeah, cool. Awesome.
That I worked on. Let me show it real quick. I didn't get picked. Me and my junior created stuff, and the client, which was awesome. The client was heartbroken because they liked all of our designs, and they had a really hard time picking the winner. Dude, I don't have the one that got it right now, but I'll definitely show it next time. But this is my concept, and I'm coming here.
No, I'm saying, do you want to share the name? Is that okay or not? I don't know your.
Yeah, this is live now, so it's fine. I don't care. This is my concept for Desert Dogs and Lexicon Bank. Lexicon Bank is one of our clients. They're super awesome. And they just partnered up with Desert Dogs, a local team here for lacrosse. And I think it's super dope. This is what businesses are about, support your community and, be out there. And I had a lot of fun working on this, which I haven't had a chance to work on something fun. And yeah, that's what I worked on lately. And there's more stuff coming up, and I'll definitely share that with you guys. I'm super excited about the stuff that we're going to be working with them going forward. So yeah.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I do not have anything to share. I can tell you that I'm working on a holiday Christmas card for my company, but I don't have anything to physically share as we just got the project today.
What's the theme?
Holiday Christmas card.
No, but
internal, external.
But what are you what's the idea?
Yeah, what's the concept?
Is it letterpress? Is it single color? Oh, gotcha.
Oh, no. No, it's probably going to be off of our press. But maybe we might order some nice thick paper, some matte paper, which would be nice. But we've run them the past couple years, so my team is always excited to do that.
Nice. Cool shit. Awesome. But yeah, I figured that'd be a cool little thing to add on to the final of each podcast. Just share a little something of what we're working on. Or something.
I mean, I also have ideas brewing in here every night. The same idea keeps coming to me for my design project. So I just want to touch on that for everybody that made it to this far in the podcast. We are doing another design project for this season. We are going to be doing icons that touch on our brand, Room250, expanding upon it in an icon that we each feel encompasses the brand as a whole. And that's sort of along the lines of, I said it a lot when we met, Lincoln Design Company. They have a bunch of different icons that kind of go along with their brand. So we have our Room250 logo up here, and then we're going to make some supporting logos to go along with it. And possibly we're going to be putting those on
Some kind of swag.
It's not that we're trying to sell anybody anything. We just want to do swag for ourselves.
Having fun.
Yes.
We're just having fun.
We're just having fun. Exactly.
Definitely
we're just having fun.
A fun project, and we get to expand and evolve the Room250 brand because it's fun. I mean, this is what we do. So
yeah,
definitely excited for this project.
Yeah. So through these next couple episodes leading up to the second to last episode. The second to last episode will be us presenting those concepts. No, not those concepts. Those finalized icons. So look forward to seeing that throughout the season. Maybe we might touch base on it. Maybe we won't. But you will for sure be seeing it in the second to last episode before our recap for the season.
That'll be episode 9. So we're going 10 episodes per season. That's how we're doing it. This is the time that we have. And for all you listening and liking, subscribing, and following our posts, thank you so much. We're super excited to get back.
Posts.
Yeah, we have some great guests coming up. Working on that. So our subjects and we're evolving as a channel, and we're fun. So super excited for season 2.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash that like button, hit the bell notification, follow us on the TikTok, follow us on the Instagram,
TikTok,
follow us on YouTube.
Wait, isn't TikTok getting banned next year?
Is it?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know. Man. Trump's president. Everything's getting banned.
Yeah, everything's getting banned, bro. You're brown. You're getting banned.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good thing.
Anyways.
Anyways, have a great night. Talk to you guys again next week.
Peace.
Bye.